First up though, it's wedding season, did you know? We are now planning weddings for 2011/2012. That's the season we're already looking forward to. You might have noticed in your area that wedding fairs are popping up here, there and everywhere. But you'll need preparation for the wedding fair itself. You'll need to know what's on trend, what to take with you. I don't know, but one lady that does is Patricia Browne. She's here from the weddingacademy.co.uk. Thanks for joining us, Patricia. As always, heaven. It's great that you're here because, of course, the wedding fairs are popping up left, right and centre. They're actually quite daunting. I think a lot of people look at them a little bit cynically sometimes and they think, oh, I don't need to go to a wedding fair. I know how I want it to happen. I don't need to go to that kind of thing. But the advice that you can pick up, invaluable, yes?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, basically, a wedding fair is everything that you'd want to have for your wedding under one roof. So it obviously says you can go from one shop to another, you know, etc. So yeah, definitely wedding fairs are the places to go.
For those people who have never been to a wedding fair before, who are just about thinking right now, okay, maybe the proposal has just happened and then suddenly you know, women, once they've had the proposal and the engagement party is done, then comes the reality of we've just set a date.
That's right.
We've now got a deadline to work towards. How can a wedding fair help?
Well, it can most definitely help. As I say, it's everything under one roof. So what you really need to be doing is thinking which fairs we want to go to, because there are so many. They're all over the country. There's wedding fairs for same sexes, there's wedding fairs for Jewish people, there's wedding fairs for Asian people. They are all over the place.
So whatever you want, there is a wedding fair out there for you somewhere. Of course, lots and lots of valuable advice as well on Patricia's website, weddingacademy.co.uk. Do have a look because there's lots and lots of useful advice, hints and tips. Now, Patricia, because you are such a specialist where it comes to helping people to prepare, you kind of get people in the right place to prepare for their wedding. You're best place, and you're also following all of the trends that are happening.
Correct.
So you've got some advice for us in terms of wedding fairs themselves, because forget the wedding itself, you've got to prepare yourself to go to the wedding fair itself. So what can you do in advance?
Well, my advice would be to do your homework before you go. So what you need to do is, I would suggest if it's a large wedding fair, normally those types of wedding fairs happen at large arenas, exhibition places. So I'll go on the website, have a look at the actual stands that you actually want to go to, because at some of these wedding shows and wedding fairs, there can be anything from 150 stands to 200. Now in a day, that's a lot to get around. So
have in your mind what it is you want to see, who you want to see first, because of course there'll be many other brides all wanting the same pieces of information.
There could be thousands. You know, some of these fairs happen over 2 or 3 days, and in that space of time, you know, you might get 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 brides.
So you might want to decide whether you want help with the dress first, and then the venue, and then the cake, and kind of prioritise that and work your way around, because I guess it can be a little bit daunting as well, because you know it's nothing but wedding, wedding, wedding all around you, and it's actually as well as it being a wonderful thing when it finally comes. You know, a lot of brides end up saying, do you know what, I don't remember my wedding day, because there was so much chaos in the lead up, and actually the bride takes on the lion's share of the responsibility there,
she absolutely does.
Even on the day, forget about looking fabulous herself, she's worrying about whether the flowers are here and the mother is there and in this, that and the other.
And this is
where,
this is where a wedding fair can help you. I mean, some of the more popular stands when you actually go to a wedding fair are the bridal gown stands. As you can imagine, you know, lots of brides are going to want to try them on. And just on that point, one of the things you must do is, if you know you're going to go and try dresses on, go wearing comfortable clothes, because you'll see that a lot of the bridal stands will have lots of discounts, and you can get yourself a good bargain dress there. So you want to try lots on, and so do all the other hundreds and hundreds of brides that are there. So wear something comfortable that you can slip on and slip off really easily.
So you don't need to go yourself dressed up to the nines.
You definitely don't need to
You
do
are
that.
there to find something ideal, so go in something sensible that you can easily change in and out of.
And
that's a good tip,
that goes for footwear as well, because they say, you know, 200 stands stands is a lot, and you'll find that you'll probably go round the stands quite a few times. So wear some comfortable footwear.
And would you say, there's the opportunity of making bigger savings, for instance, via going to one of these wedding fairs than you would expect if you're going to, because most bridal shops they're standalone, aren't they? They're usually one single shop that may have been there for years and years and years. But can you make potentially bigger savings by going through the wedding fairs?
Most definitely, because with regards to, for example, bridal gowns or cakes, there'll be quite a few stands, so they want your custom. Go and speak to them, ask them for discount, see what they can actually do for you, and never rush, because even though there's hundreds of other brides, they want your custom, so you need to take your time and get the information that you want. And
something I guess people will be a little bit uncomfortable with is maybe haggling for a discount, because it's a wedding dress, it's the thing of your dreams. If you see a price tag there, you just expect that will be the price you pay, but there is room for manoeuvre there, you think, as well?
There's always room for manoeuvre. I'm sure you can appreciate these difficult times. As I say, these suppliers actually want your business, so there's always room for manoeuvre.
Because weddings can be costly. We've spoken about that before. The average price in the UK, how's that gone over the last year or so? Has that gone up, gone down?
It's not the same, brides.
Which
it's your wedding day. People, brides have saved for a long time for this day. Or mothers and fathers, if they're going to give a gift, they know this day was always going to come. And who really wants to cut back? There's a difference between cutting back and saving. Big difference between the two.
If you're a father of a bride-to-be, just cover your ears for a second. What's the average price at the moment of the wedding?
The average in the northwest is about 18 to 20,000.
And across the UK?
Across the UK, around the 20,000, maybe 20,000 mark. You get more down south.
You can take your fingers out of your ears now. It's fine, it's only a few thousand, no problem whatsoever. And actually, you were saying to me, at bridal fairs, there's a good opportunity not only for you to try dresses on, but actually sit and watch dresses be paraded in front of you. They have fashion shows, don't they?
Generally, definitely at the big wedding fairs, you'll find 3 fashion shows. One of my tips is on the fashion shows is get your seat early. You must do, because normally they can only allow so many people to watch the fashion show. You've been on your feet all day, and you really want to sit down. So maybe go and get your seat a little bit early. And they're absolutely fantastic. They show you all the latest trends, and you can see the dresses up close, on the models. So.
Absolutely. And actually, you were telling me, and this is a bit of a tip of the trade, if you like, this is the inside track from Patricia, it's actually not a bad opportunity to win a few things while you're at a wedding fair.
Absolutely. I mean, this is my favourite thing when it comes to wedding fairs is, as I say, each one of the stands will all have some kind of prize or raffle draw, and you can win anything from a bottle of champagne right up to a £4,000 or £5,000 honeymoon.
Which would be very nice.
It would be absolutely fantastic. You just think how much money you'd save there.
Well, that's a quarter of your budget, isn't it, potentially?
At least a quarter of your budget. And the odds of you actually winning something are quite high. As I say, there's 200, potential of 200 different prizes. There might be 1,000 brides coming a day, so just think of the odds of actually winning something. They are quite high.
Now, you were telling me that the wedding fair season has really just kicked off now. It's the perfect time of the year to do it. So I guess we need to talk about trends, because trends do change. Bridal dresses go from the very jazzy to the very traditional, and they change. So what are we looking at in 2011?
2011, basically it's embellishments. Last year it was more plain, keep everything, no embellishments or anything like that.
Okay.
This year it's lots of embellishment around the bodice.
And what could that be?
That could be anything like flowers, crystals, organza, all around the area. And it's sort of like around the hip area, and say around the top of the dress. Strapless dresses are really on vogue.
Fantastic. Very, very nice. And retro chic, that's coming back, is it?
That's right, yeah. This is all due to Sex and the City 2, coming back, And basically, retro chic is your shorter wedding dresses, so, your legs will be showing rather than the long flowing gowns that a lot of brides do. So lots
of different trends. And I believe where it comes to cakes, things have changed this year as well. Absolutely, for 2011. So what's hot?
Okay, well, cupcakes are still in. They're still great.
That's a real thing, isn't it? A lot of people now having these towers of cupcakes, which just looks fantastic,
and they're really delicious because you can do so much with them. However, there's a new trend which has come from America, which a lot of the trends do, and they're called a whoopie pie. And I won't. Yes, a whoopie pie.
It's not a whoopie cushion.
No, not a whoopie cushion. A whoopie pie. And a lot of I've noticed in a lot of the high street supermarkets have just started to sell them.
Okay, so just describe to us what they are.
So basically, they can come in any flavour that you want. Normally chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, and basically what they are is like 2 pieces of a flat round cake with cream in the middle and moist. They're absolutely gorgeous, and that is going to be the trend you'll see a lot of brides actually going for.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? And I do believe that technology is coming into planning weddings as well. So if you've got a certain well-known, well, let's call it an iPhone, because that's what they're called. Other smartphones are available. I'm sure the apps are there as well.
Yeah, lots of other phones have apps as well. But, you know, there is the latest thing that's just come out is your wedding planning app. So no matter where you are, you know, you can log onto your phone, log onto your app, and you know, continue.
That's a good idea, because I mean, apps for your phone. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we don't write in diaries anymore. No. Very, very rarely that we write diaries or have paper diaries. If you've got a smartphone, your whole life is basically on there, isn't it? It's always backed up all of the time. So what do those apps kind of help you with? Just keeping track on where you are?
Keeping track of everything. You know, anything that you could do on a computer, this app will actually do for you.
So suppliers and phone numbers and dates and appointments.
And how much you've spent, you know, and so on and so forth.
So you've got a budget tracker there as well. You were telling me as well, when it comes to the venue, the unusual is in right now, because when we think of weddings, we think of very, very uniform tables. Everything looks the same, everything matches and coordinates. But now we're going in a different direction next season.
We are going in a different direction, and as you, if you think about the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, where everything, all the crockery was a little bit different, and there was tall tables and small chairs, etc. That's actually going to be the trend for 2011. So, from a budget point of view, that's great. You know, as you say, you could have, if your venue doesn't have all the same uniform chairs and tables, you know, some round and some square, it won't make any difference anymore, because, you know, you can have them all different sizes and shapes.
And when it comes to your venue, or, you know, your setup, or whatever you want to happen in your wedding, you always say, don't you, no dream impossible.
There's absolutely no dream impossible. You just really, again, Derek, I need to bring you back to the budget. What you need to do is you need to think about your budget. Always think about your budget, how much you've got to spend, and apportion your budget accordingly. And, you know, even with a small budget, you know, it's the incredible things that you can actually do with a small budget. All you need to do is, it's about the guest list. You might just have to have a few less people in order to create a fantastic wedding on a small budget.
And very, very quickly, before we run out of time, lots and lots of people now, because they don't really know, I mean, you know, a lot of people are getting married, thankfully, for the first time, and, you know, they don't know what to expect. They don't know how to behave, how to walk, how to be.
That's right.
But help is out there, yes?
Absolutely help. A big thing this year for the new wedding season is coaching in all sorts of things. Obviously, that's great, you know, for a company like mine, the Wedding Academy, you know, which we hold a workshop to show brides how to organise their own weddings. But also, you know, you could go for coaching just to walk down the aisle. You know, there's lots of models now setting up workshops to show you how to actually do that.
So if you're a bit of a ladette and you want to turn yourself into a lady, it's absolutely there.
Absolutely.
Patricia, thank you as always. Wonderful. You want more advice, it's weddingacademy.co.uk. Patricia has some great links on there, and get yourself to a wedding fair as well. You know, even if you've not set the date yet, in terms of starting your planning, absolutely fantastic. Thank you as always. Right, lovely. Let's go and do some crafting then. Akila?
Yes.